Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we've got a Rob in the booth. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. As always, we are brought to you by Star City Games and sponsored by Carnox Chairs. If you would like a Carnox chair, be sure to use our affiliate link, which is carnox.com
Or else.
SCG.
Or
you'll
else.
get 10% off. Or else you'll get 0% off.
Yeah. And we'll be mad.
Yeah. Because I am always mad when people pay full price for anything.
True.
Stop doing it.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's easy. Carnox, you just put the /SCG at the end. It's 4 characters.
Yeah. So think about that wage per minute. You know, I mean, like that may take, 15 seconds to put in? 10. If you were to make 10...
1 second.
If I were to make $10 per we'll say 2 seconds, just in case you're a slow typer. If I were to make $10 for 2 seconds, I could retire and live on an island somewhere for sure.
That you could probably buy your own island.
That could be you. Get 10% off a Carnox chair. You're going to live on your own island. I mean...
I don't think you know how finances work, Corey.
Yeah, my fiance handles the bills at home.
That's for the best.
Yeah.
Hey, we are still preparing for SCG Richmond this weekend. We've got, team constructed, all 3 formats. There's also some players tours, stressing Pioneer. Mm-hmm. So that's where we're going to start. Today, we're going to be going over decks that we think are quite well positioned.
Yep.
On Tuesday, we did sort of the decks to beat, set the metagame. Here's the things that are being targeted.
Don't forget about these decks, essentially. Yeah.
They're going to be popular. You should be prepared for them. And now we've got the decks that we think are prepared for them, and that means should do well over the course of the weekend.
Yeah, or decks that we're personally playing. I know my second list, I'm in the standard seat. It's something I've been hyped about for a long time. Very likely to play it. We all have those last-minute tournament switches, which... still entirely possible, but it's a strong list. I played what our team was playing on Tuesday in the modern seat with the Dimir Urza. So I've been really transitioning what I think is really good for this weekend into what we've been playing, and it's no different here in Pioneer. I think our decks are pretty nice.
Yeah, I think these are poised to be 2 of the most successful decks of the weekend.
Yep.
I'm going to be playing Azorius Spirits. This is a deck I wrote about earlier this week on StarCityGames.com. You can check out that article now.
Well, not now. Don't leave.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it is possible.
It is, yeah.
So,
got 2 monitors, maybe, Yeah.
A deck I think is quite underrated, just not getting a ton of hype, but I think is well positioned against the Niv Mizzet decks. I think it has enough game against the aggro decks with the addition of Nebelgast Herald to really hold its own there.
Yep.
It's a card that really controls the battlefield nicely.
Nice tempo swing, yeah. Yep.
So definitely a deck I think is well positioned, and you were playing sort of the deck that is, I think, getting the most hype in the last 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, I would say if you look on social media or you look on Twitch right now, you're starting to get one thing that I really love about open deck lists. We're going and we're playing a closed deck list tournament here in Richmond, but whenever you have an open deck list tournament, there's really no disadvantage to being like, okay, on Twitter, this is what I'm playing. And you kind of get to know before you head into one of these players tours, like, did I mess up? Did I maybe crush it? Was I behind the curve or whatever? We're starting to see people that are posting their lists. We're seeing a high level, a lot of high-level players admitting that they are playing the Dimir Inverter list, Autumn Burchett, Juza, among the few Canister as well. And if Canister's playing it, I would just assume it's broken. I would assume it's broken until proven otherwise. But it's been getting a lot of hype. The deck is a simple way to win here. You play Inverter, flip your deck upside down, either go with Jace or Thassa's Oracle, the new addition from Thrones Beyond Death, and then just win on the spot. So instead of being this gimmicky deck that is trying to do this fast or whatever, we're taking it slow. We're playing a lot of removal. You got Censor, Thoughtseize, Fatal Push. You're controlling the game until all of a sudden, boom, you win the game. And I don't know about you, but have you ever heard of any good combo control strategies in the world of Magic?
No, I think that's new.
Yeah.
They definitely haven't been good.
These are pretty new. I mean, I think combo control is just about as well known and as prepared for a tournament as combo aggro, right? Like that kind of combo.
I mean, let's be honest. There's some good aggro combo decks.
Aggro combo decks, yeah. Maybe not the most well known, but all joking aside, combo control has been a strategy that's just been insane over the years. Splinter Twin, Felidar Guardian, and Standard. Plenty more to name. Even like Dragonstorm decks got to be a little bit combo controlling with like Gigadrouse
and just like hard casting Garden Hellkite sometimes.
Yeah.
They all have that extra angle. Splinter Twin is really the canonical example.
Yeah.
This list I think compares strategically to that. It doesn't win quite as fast. The fastest you can assemble it is turn 5.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can play both pieces in one turn, like you don't need to end step the first piece so that has summoning sickness is really nice. It makes it really hard to tap out once you get to turn 6, which is similar to Saheeli and Felidar Guardian. And the disruptive elements are really strong. This is sort of we started with the hype around Underworld Breach, and this has sort of supplanted that.
Yeah.
The combo itself is so clean, and sometimes like you can just play the Inverter with 7 cards in your graveyard and win with a 6/6 flyer.
Yeah.
Drawing straight gas for the last 6 turns.
Yeah, it's like I know what I'm gonna draw. I mean, it's not gonna be islands, like.
So, and then Dig Through Time is such a perfect card in the deck.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a lot of hoopla now about this being the deck that gets Dig Through Time banned because, not only is it dig for your 2 combo pieces, right? Like you can spend the first 4 turns interacting with your opponent. On turn 5, you can play another interactive spell and Dig Through Time, find your 2 combo pieces, turn 6, kill them because now you've exiled the rest of your graveyard. You probably just have the Dig Through Time left. And so when you Inverter, you only have the 1 card in your library, Thassa's Oracle, 2 Devotion, you're good to go.
And I mean, one nice thing with Dig is we may not have, fetch lands that have made Dig Through Time historically really, really over the top powerful, but we have Fabled Passage and we have Fetid Pools, being able to cycle the land on turn 2 whenever you don't want to censor, you don't want to do whatever. Like you're still filling the graveyard with these lands that, in Pioneer is a little trickier to do.
Yep. Yeah. And when you're pairing it with black, you get 2 really good 1-mana interactive spells. Not many colors.
I think the best interactive spells in the format are the 2 black 1-drops.
Censor helps you fill your graveyard. The Auto Erasure with the Surveil helps you fill your graveyard. So you do enable Dig quite well in this deck. And this is definitely this is the talk of the tournament so far. And I think question 1 on day 1 of the Players Tours and in Richmond is going to be how well does this deck do? Does it live up to the hype? It looks like it's going to have a really good matchup against the Niv Mizzet decks. Those Niv decks are prepared to play this long, grindy game against control decks. And if you get into that kind of game against this deck, eventually the Niv deck is still a tap out, for Niv or some other big spell. And this deck can just untap and end the game.
And I mean, like the Niv Mizzet decks have to play stuff like Abrupt Decay and Deafening Clarion, things that don't have text against this deck at all, so it puts it in a rough spot for game 1. And then, like you said, it's a tap out deck. So I think this is going to be the deck that maybe gives Niv Mizzet its final push out the door because it was definitely declining, unfortunately. But we'll see. And another thing about these events, even Richmond, but the Players Tours in Richmond, it's going to be so hard to realize if this deck is indeed broken because at the Players Tours, you have limited. You have limited to spice in, so you could have this could be the best deck, but you have a medium limited result. You don't get shown very highly. At Richmond, this is a team event. We could have this deck in Pioneer XO and not win a single match at the tournament. So it's tough to truly tell. Only just watching and absorbing the information, I think, will really yield the results there.
We'll figure it out. It usually takes a little while to sift through the noise, but the deck is messed up.
You mean dig through the noise?
No. We're casting Sift. 3 in a blue, draw 3, just start 1. Honest work.
Not bad.
I didn't have that one ready.
Yeah, I didn't have that one.
Come on, Rob.
I swear I told you before we went live I was going to mention Sift.
This was a Sift stream today, okay, Rob?
Why don't we get into it?
All right, let's do it. So you got the marbles.
Are over here.
You did some beatdowns to me on Tuesday.
So thorough beating down.
Yep, it surely was. So I'm going to go first. All right.
I'm aiming for some more beatdowns today. If you look at my slate of decks, we're mono beatdowns.
You are beaten down, and you know what? I'm trying to stop you. We'll see. Aggressive strategies are usually my forte, but I mean, I want to try to do a little bit opposite stuff here. Okay. I mean, we have a little bit of interaction here. This hand definitely not going to ship back. Seems perfectly reasonable.
My hand is also reasonable.
Okay. Watergrave, go.
Port Town, Reveal Island.
Okay.
Cast Mausoleum Wanderer.
All right.
You're up.
That seems reasonable to me. Yeah, I'll pass to you. We're definitely playing more as a Dimir control deck to start.
Selfless Spirit.
Selfless Spirit. I think we'll give that a censor.
Maybe I should have attacked first. It's like pretty likely that Corey has some sort of 2-mana interaction here. I probably should have attacked.
I mean, censor's like the only one, right?
You can have, I guess you couldn't have Drown.
I could have Drown. It would be a pretty bad play, but...
I still do want to protect the Selfless Spirit.
Yeah,
I think I should have attacked first and got my one.
Maybe. I actually think you did it right. It just so happens. I had it. Okay. Not developing as well as I would like. I'm going to go with a land, and let's just get this out of the way now. Try to clear the board. Pass to you.
Okay. Play another Selfless Spirit.
Okay.
Pass turn.
All right. Untap. Draw that. Is that something we want to do right now? Probably. All right, let's Thoughtseize you.
And it's not good.
Okay. All right, I will take your only spell.
Yep.
All right, I'll take 2, go to 18.
Kept a 4-lander and
then pass to you.
Drew a couple.
Yeah, don't worry, my hand's not that great either.
Attack for 2.
All right, beat down 16.
Call Fountain. You're up.
Okay. Untap. That's interesting. Can we do that? Probably not here. I think we should just probably go land go. Pass to you.
Ross, how do you feel about playing Port Town in this blue-white deck? Is this something you have to do?
It is a necessary evil.
Yeah, Port Town does... It's not great.
The fact that this 2-color deck only plays 2 of them, it should tell you all you need to know about that card.
Yeah.
And it plays 1 mana confluence.
Yeah. Port Town is not great.
The mana base is certainly the weakness of this deck.
Yeah. Maybe just the weakness of just Pioneer, right?
Yeah, for all friendly color pairs.
Yeah. I'll pass to you.
Attack for 2.
I'll take it. 12.
Island go.
All right, I will dig. I'm going to tap off for this. I don't think there's much you can have, so I'll exile 2 cards. This is the card we've definitely been looking for.
Wish I had Rattlechain's Wanderer.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna leave these 2. Maybe I'm supposed to. Yeah, I think that seems fine. Okay.
Your deck's good.
Gotcha. I'm just thinking if I should exile another card and leave this open. I think I will exile Censor as well. All right, 7.
Yeah, leaving yourself at 2 cards.
Probably smart.
Makes a lot of sense.
All right. So, with what we got in our hands here, we're doing pretty good. I think I for sure want this. And I think we also want this. Yep, let's do that. Put this at bottom. Untap.
Yep.
Okay. Let's go with a... All right, let's go with a... Inverter.
Resolves.
Okay, so this becomes my library. I'm going to shuffle it. This is exiled. All right, we'll go like that, and we'll go for it.
I'm dead.
All right. And for anybody who doesn't know, I'm going to be able to scry 2 equal to my devotion. Doesn't matter where I put them, top or bottom. As long as it's equal, that's GG. I think I still had you there, bud. Especially with drawing another Thoughtseize. Next turn I can just go double Thoughtseize Jace. I was waiting, so at one point I just had 2 inverters and 2 lands before I top decked the dig. I'm like, I got like 4 cards in the yard. I could just go for the beatdown plan, but I think with you not pressuring me that much, I didn't really have to. But I also think if you were pressuring me, it would have been a lot worse, you know, because the blocker would have probably not been enough. So I don't know.
I think you had so much backup after the dig that it made sense, and like you could wait to see how your draw developed.
Yeah, and then the dig gave me Oracle, Thoughtseize. So if I drew a 7th land, I was going to Thoughtseize before, and then for sure lock you out. But actually, that wouldn't. No, because I scryed 2 to the bottom, but then I have 3 cards, so I actually wouldn't win the game. So maybe I shouldn't have Thoughtseized. Interesting. Yeah, a lot of different lines you can take with the blue-black inverter deck, that's for sure.
Maybe that means you want to fully delve the dig so that you have the option of Thoughtseizing, but you don't really know that until after you dig.
And that's why I left the Thoughtseize in the yard, because I wanted to draw it, you know?
After the inverter.
Yeah, so maybe, I don't know, a lot of different lines. I'm sure there's some blue-black inverters out there that are saying, "What? Of course you take this card instead of that." But we're going to head on to the sideboard, and we're going to see if we got any tools for this Azorius Spirits versus blue-black inverters deck. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And welcome back to sideboarding here on Versus Live. We got blue-black inverters, the new hotness, the absolute new hotness here. Up against Azorius Spirits, probably the opposite of new hotness, but it has been the hotness throughout Magic's existence at different times.
Old lukewarmness.
Yeah.
That's what the Spirits is.
Yeah, I like
quote
it.
Fast and Furious. New hotness. New busted.
There we go. That's perfect. Okay, so what we're taking out here, Mystical Dispute seems unbelievable here. I get to counter your hate cards as well as your creatures. That just seems insane. So I'm bringing in all 4 of those. Then we got 3 Cast Down, which just gets to kill everything in your deck. So all of our 7 cards just hit everything of yours, which is a good sign of a matchup improving post-board. And then some of the cards we're taking out, let's start with these 3. They are just graveyard synergy cards, and I think, you know, any white deck I have to anticipate brings in Rest in Peace, or at least thinks about it. I mean, we've been debating it. We're not even sure if we think it's really good. We'll leave this out to you. I want to throw a question out to you, Chad. Do you like Rest in Peace against this deck? I'm starting to lean on, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna hedge a little bit and take out these cards. They're not that great anyways. And then Thought Erasure on the draw, as well as the 1 negate. I'm bringing in so many things that counter and deal with everything. I don't need situational cards. And then it was between Censor and Thought Erasure. And I think the ability to cycle Censor as well as probably do the same as Thought Erasure most of the time, I think makes it better for me. But
yeah,
what do you got?
On my side, I think it's also clear that I'm unsure about Rest in Peace, given that I'm bringing in 2 of my 3 copies.
Okay.
It's a card that has some utility in this matchup. You know, it doesn't stop the combo, but it does force Corey to do it all in one turn. You know, you can't. A lot of the time, you can play the Inverter, untap, and play your Oracle or your Jace, maybe with protection. And then, you know, the Inverter can play some defense.
I could Jace and then Inverter the next turn, but
yeah. That can happen as well. But
when I play Inverter, I have to kill.
Yes. So I think that is pretty valuable. And then shutting off Dig Through Time, which is the best card in your deck.
Oh, yeah.
Also pretty valuable. So it does a few important things, even if it's not, you know, a home run. Mystical Dispute, I don't think is a great card against your main deck configuration, but given that you have a bunch of disputes in your sideboard, which is an easy thing to predict, I think I need mine to combat yours. Also, you know, counters other things. It's just not great in the matchup. And then I went with Disdainful Stroke over
just counters Dig, you know, and most of the time. Like
I went with Stroke over Veto. I don't think you have room for both. And even though Veto counters more things, the things that Stroke counters are more important.
Yeah.
You know, hitting the inverter that Veto misses, they both hit Dig Through Time. I just don't really care about Doan's vetoing a 1-mana removal spell or a 2-mana removal spell. It's not a very good use of the card. So I want to keep myself relatively threat dense. I've got my Nebelgast Heralds. You know, as we mentioned in the beginning of the show, this is for aggressive matchups, so not great here. Brazen Borrower is also not great. Sometimes with Rest in Peace, you can set it up where like you go for the Oracle or you activate your Jace and like, you know, I bounce it in response. So, you know, in combination with Rest in Peace, Petty Theft can do something. But outside of that, it doesn't do a whole lot. So I'm trimming there. And then I'm trimming Spectral Sailor. I don't want to play a super long game.
I don't think you're ever going to have time to draw a card with that card, unfortunately.
It's just weak in multiples, so it's an easy card to trim here.
So one thing I want to point out here is if we look at the sideboard cards that we're bringing in, I think this shows the strength of the Inverter deck because you're seeing all these cards I'm bringing in that are very good against like everything, but you're bringing in cards that are situational against specific things, and that in general, it just adds for a much tougher matchup from your side, I would assume. You know, I haven't played a ton of this Inverter decks, a couple leagues here and there, but the cleanliness of the sideboard hate for this deck isn't there. There's not one card that I think I was like, oh, we just played this to destroy the Inverter deck. I can't really think of anything that's like, oh, we destroy it. Like, Stroke is kind of good, but doesn't counter Oracle, doesn't counter Thoughtseize that can get the Stroke, and like, so it seems kind of rough, and I think that just shows the power level of this deck.
Yeah.
And probably will be Dig Through Time's last dance after PT Phoenix would be my guess, if it has the weekend that I kind of expect it will.
And honestly, that's the power of combo control in general.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody against Splinter Twin would bring in their Abrupt Decays or Torpor Orbs or Spell Skates, and then the Twin deck would just bring out, I'll go down to one Twin, I'll bring in like a Keranos and like a Jace Architect of Thought and some removal spells. Let's go.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, we're seeing it a little bit, even in Standard right now. The reason Temur Reclamation is talked about as maybe the best deck by some players, Manguchi, Croaky's, really high on the deck, you can do that. I mean, you get to pivot and you get to change. They get to just bring in Cyclops or Shifting Ceratops, Night Veil, or Night Pack Ambushers, and just kind of take out Wilderness Reclamations and take out the combo and just be more of that kind of deck. And I mean, I've fallen for that trick plenty of times, bringing in Enchantment Hate when they're playing, Ambushers and stuff, and you just get destroyed. So I think that is one benefit of, or one disadvantage to the open deck list things that we've been seeing lately. Like, all the Players Tour formats are all open deck lists now. You can't really have a very effective transitional sideboard anymore. That is a debate we had on the podcast in length about this, and it's a very interesting debate because there's a lot of good things that come with open deck lists, but there are definitely some bad when it comes to sideboard plans.
Yeah, definitely a give and take there. But,
yep.
The transitional sideboard still puts in some work even if they know about it, because they don't know if you're bringing it in. It just means you have to go the 15 in, 15 out route.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah, nobody wants to do that.
All right, let's take a couple questions from you, Rob, before we get this game going.
All right, the first one is from Esteas, and he was asking about...
First-time questioner?
Yeah,
okay.
Never heard of him before.
Okay, cool. Welcome.
So you took it out, but how do you feel about the one of Scarab God in the deck? Isn't there just as a value card an alternate win condition?
You know what it seems like to me? It seems like a oh dang it button, like if something, if there were to be like main deck unmoored ego that gets your inverters or whatever, like at least you have a kill condition, so I think it's smart to have one kind of card that's like just in case that game one hate. And I mean, there is Niv Mizzet plays one ego.
Yeah,
probably because they have to against this kind of deck, But
and that's the kind of card that will just take over a game by itself. So that's a good option for that one of slot.
The Scarabian Genius is very smart. Yeah. Let's take one more.
Sure. Tyler Durden, 803, wanted to know, in regards to attacking this deck, do you feel like Mono Black has a good matchup in the deck and Thoughtseize have some disruption and then just put a clock on the deck?
I think that's the best recipe. I mean, we were talking about this, and even just now while we were sideboarding, it's a very tough deck to target. There's no like one card that sticks out to either of us, but a sheer fire way to beat these kind of decks is aggression mixed with disruption, or really going the other way and trying to control it. Maybe blue-white just dominates this deck. I don't know. It's got a lot of redundancy, but you can also really just wait till you have two Thoughtseizes and then combo. So I would have to agree with you, Tyler, that being aggressive and disruptive is how you beat these kind of decks.
Yeah, and if they want to play that control game against you, Mono Black is well suited to do that with all the recursive threats and Castle Lockbane and Mutavault. So I think Mono Black is another good choice to combat this matchup. Card that you might want to look at for your sideboard in small numbers is Stain the Mind.
What does that do?
It's a Cranial Extraction for 4 and a black, but it has Convoke.
Oh.
So I played one at the Invitational against like Field of the Dead decks and different things. It was pretty good.
Sounds pretty nice.
So I think as a 1 or 2 of in your Mono Black sideboard, that's a card you can look at.
That's spicy. Yeah, no, and I mean that's kind of where I'm leaning for Pioneer for the Players Tour and Phoenix is like just no BS, kind of just play Mono Black aggro and have a finely tuned list for the metagame that is going to be played in Nagoya and Brussels.
Yeah. Might want to trim down on main deck removal spells. I know that the lists are now at 11-ish.
Yeah.
It's like 4 Murderous Rider, 4 Fatal Push, and like some combination of Drag to the Underworld, Grasp of Darkness, and Ultimate Price. Usually like 3 total there.
Oh, I'm going to hire you to help me build this Mono Black deck. All right, perfect. Okay, great questions. Keep them coming in, everybody. You know who to tag. Ghostbusters. No, all right.
Ghostbusters.
All right, so you're going first.
Yep. And I'm keeping my hand. It's great.
I'll keep. It's not super great, but we're going to try it.
Island Mausoleum Wanderer.
Okay.
Not all those who wander are lost.
That's true.
Some are just in the mausoleum.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that started off really deep and then just became utter nonsense real quick. All right, go.
That happens a lot with me. I will cast a Supreme Phantom.
Okay.
I will attack for 3.
I will opt in combat.
Opt is fine.
Would you like to counter?
No.
Okay.
Want to...
I'll bottom that.
Pretty easy for the 2/2 Wanderer now to counter a removal spell.
All right,
protect
17.
the Supreme Phantom.
Done?
Yep.
I think we're going to go with a castle and pass to you.
Okay. Plains. Play another Supreme Phantom.
Okay, that seems pretty good.
So
That resolves.
now this is a 4 and this is a 2. Attack for 6.
I'm at 11.
You can go to 11. Pass the turn.
I'm going to cycle. All right.
Hold on.
Oh.
While I can't get censored, I will play the Spectral Save.
Okay. Gotcha.
You're up.
Untap.
Deftly played around Corey's censor.
Yes, you did. I didn't like it.
Fatal Push here would be pretty... Oh, no, I guess this can now counter a Fatal Push.
Yeah, they can counter just about anything here. I have no real hope except to cast down and hope you accidentally misclick. Okay.
Let's counter that.
All right, go ahead.
Now we have a 3 and 2 2s.
Yep. Got
So that's 7. So I will shock to 18.
Okay.
And I will attack you for 7.
I'm down to 4.
Pass the turn.
Now, even if I can deal with one of the creatures, I'm still dead. So I could have tried to play Inverter here and just kind of hope, but really anything would have killed me. With that not being an option, I have to do the only other option I have in my hand, and that's Cycle Sensor. And the rest are lands. I am dead.
I could have played Eagle last turn and attack Corey to 1, and against what I know is in his list, like that would have been a better play. But I think a lot of decks are going to have things like Languish and Ritual of Soot, and I had to stroke. So I think against, if I didn't know their list, I would leave up the counter spell.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at that draw. I don't really care what I had as a draw unless it was like push, cast down, that kind of control. I mean, I went with an opt sensor, a hand, and adjacent an inverter, a reasonable hand, nothing insane, but unless I have a really directed hate draw that kills a lot of creatures, I'm not beating that draw, I mean, so this deck is not unbeatable, that's for sure,
Absolutely needed a removal spell on the first 2 turns of the game.
100%. 100%.
Did not have it.
No, I did not. But Rob, do you have any questions?
I do. So given that we have 3 events playing Pioneer this weekend,
yep.
How do you think is the meta development going to accelerate a lot, do you think, for the PT in Phoenix and for the Team Constructed event in Philadelphia?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is going to be something that we've almost never seen. Like in Magic's history, is having a pro tour and then the next weekend having a pro tour. So we're going to see people that are really trying to get on levels. Like there's going to be people at, I feel, level 1 that play like the PT winning deck, the best deck. Then there's going to be level 2 where people are going to play decks that beat the best deck. And then people might level themselves too much where they, play a deck that's good against the deck that beat the deck and then, lose to certain things. Like this happens a lot. Normally after pro tours, the weekend after that event, it's just you're playing a tournament where you're playing against. If you see a deck, you know exactly what list they're playing because they're playing a pro tour deck. That's just these pros spend all 2 weeks testing. So why not try their list? I mean, I do the same. But it'll be interesting to see. For a pro tour where people have so much on the line, how much extra work they put into actually leveling last week's results. It's going to be interesting.
From the time we start getting deck lists on Sunday to when you have to submit deck lists on Wednesday?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. So you've got, 3.5 days max.
Yeah.
Really about 3 days to try to figure something out. They're going to be under a lot of time pressure, but we're going to see very different metagames, I assume, in Phoenix and Philly than we do this weekend. And in part, it's due to the fact that January was a slow month for the metagame development. There wasn't a lot of Pioneer going on. We were really focused on Modern on the SCG tour. And so Pioneer just kind of sat there with, Mono Black and Chonky Red and, a little Azorius control, a little ramp here. And then the Niv Mizzet deck was kind of the big thing that happened over the course of the month. And
it was the Christmas present to everybody, you know?
And now we've seen the new set with Theros Beyond Death, and everybody's evaluating those. So that's a big part of the shift. It's had a pretty major impact.
It's like 3 cards that just drove right into Pioneer, and
this is also the first time we're seeing the real top best players in the world tackle the format and be really serious about it. And that's always going to bring new innovations, especially in a format this young. So this weekend is going to be huge. It's going to be probably the biggest weekend in the history of the format so far. And the 2 weekends combined are going to completely reshape the metagame moving forward.
And I would say the metagame's probably going to get condensed after this, because there is going to be decks that rise to the top, creme of the crop, and then there's going to be decks that just did very bad, and then these decks are basically going to be kicked out of the metagame. When you get to look at stats from 2 Pro Tours, and you see that Niv Mizzet goes 35% against the field at both tournaments, whatever deck, I'm just using that as an example. That deck is not going to become popular after that. That's going to be kind of kill a deck, essentially. People will play their deck when they want to, but we're going to see stats that are really going to narrow the metagame, and it's going to be interesting how those people use those stats for Phoenix next week, or Philly.
That's a good point. The Pioneer metagame has been pretty open so far. We haven't had a lot of big tournaments. People have played what they wanted to play. And this is going to be the first major test for every single deck to see should this deck stick around, or should it just
or is the format going to be healthy or not? Honestly, pros usually, whenever pros get a hand on a new-ish format where they don't normally do it for a Pro Tour, they usually ruin it. They usually ruin all the fun, and then here's the best 3 decks. It's been figured out. Spreadsheets have determined that Niv Mizzet is not good. X, Y, Z, and we'll see. It's just going to be a good weekend for coverage. That's for sure.
Definitely.
All right, so I'm going to go first. Wow, this hand is horrible. 6-land Jace. Can you beat it?
You draw all the extra cards, and you got the hand of the play. My hand is the opposite. And if I reel off...
You have 6 Jaces in 1 land? Whoa!
If we reel off 2 straight lands, this hand is great, but I'm like a 24 land deck. So 23 out of 53 is a little bit better than 40%. 22 out of 52 is going to be the same. And I need to hit both of them. So I'm like 20% max. I could probably miss once and be okay. I guess I have 3 draws to 2 lands, right? Because I'm on the draw. That probably gets me to a coin flip.
I need that Zach Galifianakis math gif right now.
The one I like better is from 21 Jump Street, where he's just writing, and he's like, the square root of the diameter, and then it's just boom, and it's just 4s. That may be one of the funniest scenes from any movie.
It's not enough.
All right, let's take a question, Rob.
All right, Kip14 wanted to know, do you think that there will ever be a Monastery Mentor deck in Pioneer? Or you think there's just a lack of free spells to make it really good?
Well, I didn't know that card was legal in Pioneer, so I'll let you take this question.
Not just free spells, there's a lack of really good 1-mana spells too, right? We had a question like this on Tuesday, and that was one of the reasons I think Phoenix hasn't performed well, is because there's just not enough really good 1-mana spells, especially 1-mana cantrips.
I feel like Monastery Mentor really needs Path.
And then you consider the White's poor removal, and that all of its removal is enchantment based, or at least a lot of it. So you're definitely pairing it with either black or red, probably black. Because then you get Thoughtseize and Push. So you're like an Orzhov deck. And I just don't know what you're really doing. Maybe it could come, never say never, where the format's only going to get more and more powerful. We'll probably eventually get to a point where there's too many good 1-mana spells,
Maybe. Or just keep banning them, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Or ban the things like Monastery Mentor. But for now, I wouldn't even consider trying to build a Mentor deck.
Nah, doesn't seem good. And I mean, there's just a lot of shocks. For some reason, any red deck plays a stock number of 4 Wild Slash, which just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, there's 8 shocked. I mean, why is 4 always the right number, you know?
It's really... It's the fact that like you really need the 1 mana one. Like it's so valuable having that at 1 mana because you just don't have any other good 1 mana spells.
No, I get it, but why not 5? Why not 3? Why is it always 4? Because there's 8 of them. You know, Shock and Wild Slash are so very much the same. I just do not get why it's always 4. That can't always be correct, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you have Bone Crusher, so you don't really want, like, it's really like, you know, Shocks 9 through 12.
Yeah, so maybe you want, why not 3 then?
Because you really want the 1 mana ones.
Then why not 5?
But you really need 4 Bone Crusher Giant. I don't know. Yeah, you could play 5. You could try it out.
That's just one thing from Pioneer I just don't get lately. Like, every list is just 4 Wild Slash. No other deviation, but there's Shock, and you could also just play less. So.
They started playing Shock in the Is It and Soul deck because they found that Wild Slash's Ferocious Claws will sometimes turn off the protection on your Stonecoil Serpent and let it die when it wouldn't otherwise.
Nice.
And it never came up in the positive way. So it was actually a downside.
Yeah.
So if you notice, Is It and Soul decks have Shock now.
Are you saying Shock is going to go up in price now?
Shock's been printed 3,000 times. So
that's a great interaction.
That is great.
It's nice if they can save their $15 or whatever because Wild Slash is infinite.
It makes sense.
Shock is basically worthless, and they can feel good about it. Like I'm actually making the correct strategic decision.
Yeah,
I'm saving money.
All right, I'm gonna put this at the bottom.
Once again, a 1-lander, but
I
think on 6, this one is strong enough that we should keep. And that one's definitely the bottom.
Okay. Fetid Pool, go.
18, you're up.
Okay.
I've definitely scribbled on a bunch of Wild Slashes.
Never didn't have it.
Yeah. Of course.
to make other cards, and I feel really bad about it now.
I love it. Temple, Scry. I'll keep that on top.
Okay. I got a Sailor.
Okay.
I'll go to 16 and get you for 1.
All right. The beatdown's 19.
You're up.
All right. Untap. All right, we'll go with a Fabled Passage and pass to you.
Okay, Rattle Chains on your end step.
Rattle Chains. I better kill that.
Mushy for 1.
18.
Rest in peace.
Rest in me. Okay. Sure.
You're up.
All right. Go.
Just didn't want to get inverted there.
Yeah.
So went with the rest in peace. That's a land. That's good. Attack for 1.
17.
You're up.
All right. I will sack this. Get a land. Oh, let's see what we want to do. I can castle. I take a lot, but yeah, it's probably not worth it quite yet.
Do it. Howard.
I can castle now. All right, go.
End step, Brazenbauer.
We'll dispute that.
That's a good one. Attack for 1.
Okay, 16.
You're up.
Castle.
Taking 4.
Yep.
12.
12.
You'll love to see it.
Maybe your 1/1 will get there now.
Yeah, we're playing on the wild side here. Go.
End step, dark card.
Okay. Yours is better.
Yeah,
do you take 5 or?
No. Attack for 1.
Okay, take it.
11. Island Wanderer.
Wanderer, huh? I'm gonna dispute that. Okay, and end step, scry 2.
Yep.
Okay, I'll keep this 1 card. Untap. Draw land. Play around Dispute here. Go with a Jace.
I will cast a Spellcaller.
Okay. Your turn. Eagle.
I will play an Eagle.
Okay.
Attack you for 5.
All right, down to 6.
Play a Port down and
Okay.
pass.
Well, I'm dead next turn, so I guess we have to attempt to win this game. I will go with an Inverter.
Resolves.
Oracle.
Dispute.
No, I don't have it. Okay, I lose.
Yeah. Another thing is that Rest in Peace makes my disputes better because it forces you to like tap low there.
Yeah.
So, I think you'd have won that game pretty easily through Borrower, Queller, Dispute without the Rest in Peace, actually.
Probably because I did have a couple inverters, and in the board, I'm just getting disputes back on top and stuff. So, yeah, who knows? Who knows? It'd be
We
interesting.
got a lot of time, though.
We do have a lot of time. Should we jam on another couple games?
Yeah, let's
We're
do
in
it.
match 1. This Pioneer's exciting right now. This deck's exciting. Matchup seems good. I don't know. I mean,
So far,
close.
2-1 on my side.
Yep.
We've seen all the sideboard cards be relevant. You know, like,
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned while sideboarding that mine were narrow, but the situations where they're good came up in that game.
Yeah.
They did what I was hoping that they would do.
Yep. Exactly.
So that's just how the matchup goes. Then it might not matter that they're narrow because that's
Yeah.
just what the matchup is about.
Exactly. Then I mean, if it's a narrow thing that you're hoping for, but that has to come up for me to win the game, then I guess it's not that narrow.
Exactly.
All right, let's take a question, Rob, while we shuffle up for game 4.
Sure. The Rev wants to know in the mono green decks that are seeing play right now, do you feel like Ugin is a great top end, or are you like less enthusiastic about that card?
I'm less enthusiastic now that everything's going either combo-y or hyper-aggressive. Like when it was a mid-range fest with Chonky Red, basically when Glorybringer was good, Ugin was insane. But now that Glorybringer is worse, I think Ugin is a lot worse as well. I don't like that deck anymore.
Yeah, I think it is. Honestly, of like the top 10 decks in metagame share right now, it's probably the worst one.
Yeah, which is crazy because I used to think that deck was very terrifying. Every deck I played, like Temur Energy and stuff like that.
Yeah, you play nothing but mid-range decks, so Ugin obviously crushes
I
you.
was getting destroyed by Eugene.
Yeah, I play nothing but aggro and combo decks. I could care less, and that's what the metagame looks right now. Even the control deck has a combo finish.
Yeah.
You can't even if they're on the beatdown playing. Ugin doesn't even kill Inverter.
Yeah, you know what I'm hoping comes back with somebody at these players' tours is a 4-color energy list with Hand Disruption and Glint Sleeve Siphoner. I still think that would be pretty good. The deck itself is kind of medium, so we'll see. But all right, so I'm gonna be first.
Skeptical.
Yeah, I'll try this.
Same.
All right, land go.
18 Wanderer.
Wanderer. Yeah, let's get that out of there.
Okay.
It's gonna counter my thing anyways, so all right, we're gonna opt.
The main phase opt. Digging for lands?
Maybe.
Digging for lands?
You don't know me.
We're thinking about it. That usually the think it means they're not digging for lands because the decision is easy.
Yeah.
So what is the main phase opt about? You just kind of.
All right, we're gonna put this on bottom. Okay, and
Oh, that's a temple. Okay. Player Temple of Deceit.
you don't know.
Okay, you drew a 1-mana play. You were going to temple.
Take 2. You were so off on all this stuff. Normally you get me pretty good, but you were pretty off on everything. Okay. Right here, I actually think Rest in Peace is pretty annoying based on my hand, so I'm gonna get rid of it.
Okay, that's a good sign that the card is good.
Yeah, go ahead. It would be good right now, so.
Corey, Asteus wants to know if in that 4-color energy deck you were talking about you played, would you play Glorybringer and Scarab God?
Yes, I would. Thank you. Anybody who also thinks that is a good combination, go to @FFFreakMTG and let them know what side you're on. As long as you're on the side that Asteus just said.
The correct one.
The correct side. Yes, exactly. Go. We argued for so long about that. It was unreal.
Attack for 1.
Okay.
You're at 17.
17. Yep.
You're up.
All right. End step opt.
Sure.
Do I want that? probably need it, but we'll be a little greedy. Untap. Draw.
Yep.
That was a good draw. All right, we're gonna go like that. Go.
Attack for 1.
The beatdowns. 16.
You're up.
End step. Sack. We'll get a swamp. Our beautiful Pokemon lands.
I mean, your beautiful Pokemon. I have real lands.
I'm going to attempt to dig through time.
Cards in hand?
Now 3.
All right, well, just show it to me.
I got it.
Yep.
Hooray. Dig, dig, dig.
Dig, dig, dig.
6. So we know you have 3 cards, huh? Okay, what do we want here? I think I actually want this card, surprisingly, since this is not a very good dig. So we're going to take that.
Once again, Temple of Deceit.
Yeah. And I think I kind of want this. This feels a little weird.
Second
to take
Temple of
such
Deceit.
low-powered cards. All right.
2 more Thassa's Oracles to match the 2 in your hand.
Yeah.
Got to build that devotion because your library's pretty big.
Exactly. How else does this deck win? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, also at end step. Yeah, let's push that.
Corey, what's your life total?
My life total is at 16, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Untap. Draw. Going to Thoughtseize you. I'll take that Spell Queller.
You're 14.
Yep. And then I'm going to opt.
Yep.
Bottom that.
Okay.
Draw and dig. Just going to do it now.
Pretty good opt.
No, I had it. I was just opting before. 6, 7. Okay. So I guess we want to take these 2 cards.
Real quick.
Yeah.
When you cast the Fatal Push, was that the same term you digged and disputed?
Yes.
So you didn't have mana for that?
Oh, that's right. That's right. I totally didn't. Because I used the dispute and I just left the mana open.
I mean, you could have just pushed on your turn, right? With this mana and then exiled it to the dig. So.
Oh, yeah, it would be the same thing, right?
Yeah,
okay.
No harm, no foul.
Untap and push, but I gotta tap that. Good call. Sorry about that, chat. And then have I played a land? That's the real question.
Yes.
I have.
Because I'm about to go to my turn 5.
Yeah, because I searched for land for a swamp.
Yep.
So, yep. Okay, your turn.
Okay. You got 3 in hand?
I got 3.
Okay. I don't have it, so I can't afford to bluff it.
Okay.
And I'll just get in for 3.
Okay.
You're at 11.
11.
You're up.
Okay. Ooh, that was really good. We're going to start with a Jace.
Yep.
We're going to target you. I'm going to draw. And we're just going to do this now. Then we'll scry. Bottom. Pass to you.
See, there's that Temple of Deceit. I knew it was there.
Yep, you knew it. You had it the whole time.
I don't have enough pressure on this Jace to reliably attack it down, so I just got to go upstairs.
The beatdowns.
You're 9.
Okay.
You're up.
All right. Going upstairs, huh? All right. Well, 1 magic card. How good is it?
Sucks.
It's always what you need, I feel. I am going to target you. Gonna draw. Okay, I wanted to get a land here just in case it's a dispute. Inverter.
Sure.
I've been inverted. Would you like to cut?
You're good.
Okay. And if it's dispute into deal with that, I guess I'm in trouble, but whatever. We'll go for it. Oracle?
It's points.
Okay. I'll scry. Kill you.
Yeah. I don't even know what I would draw to deal with this. I don't have like an Oblivion Ring kind of effect.
Like a Brazen Borrow, right?
I just bounce it, you draw for turn, you recast it,
Yeah.
and I'm dead.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I figured I was winning that one.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean this so I've had multiple draws with this deck, and the draws that I love the most is just removal spell, like counter spell, some opts, and just dig through times, and not having any combo pieces in your opener. Like that's the ideal kind of hand, you know?
Yeah, you're not trying to combo quickly. Like,
No, I want to control first, yeah.
And honestly, like the control plan worked so well that game, you probably could have won milling yourself with the Jace, casting the Inverter with like 15 cards left and attacking me.
Probably. Or just ultimate Jace. I don't even know what it does, but it probably wins in some regard.
Yeah, you just draw like 20 cards, right?
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, well, we got a game 5. It's going to be nice.
You indeed, but I'm on the play.
That's true.
Great.
I don't love that. Do you got any questions, Rob?
Yeah. So do you, given since the release of Theros, we haven't seen the Heliod Ballista combo. Do you expect it to show up at all at any of these PTs or Richmond?
People are going to try, and people are going to think their version is good. I just do not think Heliod combo is a good deck in any regard. But
I mean, we've definitely seen it. There's the White Devotion Shell. Like, people are playing that deck.
Yeah.
I think that deck is reasonable against some aggressive strategies.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good against just like mono red, which is a deck I like quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that good against Ensoul because you don't have a lot of interaction for the actual Ensouled card.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, it's fine in like the mid-rangey matchups too. Like, but I think it would be pretty bad here. Though it's nice that like Heliod is a card that you have trouble interacting with. So if you're trying to play that control role and I land the Heliod, you know, and you don't have Censor or some other counterspell, you're really not removing that from the battlefield. So maybe it's a little bit better than I thought, but they just have like combo, no disruption for you.
Yeah, combo aggro versus combo control. I think combo control wins a lot, a huge percentage of the time. But you know, that's in a vacuum. But
I think that deck is fine, but it is not a deck that I would recommend.
People are going to play it.
Like it.
I don't think it's going to win the PT. You know, I don't think it'll win either PT by any regards, but it'll be there.
Yeah, it'll be like the 7th or 8th most popular deck. It'll win like 47% of its matches.
Yeah.
And like, you know, 2 people will have pretty good finishes with it.
Yeah. And they'll have 6 out limit it. No, I don't know.
That's where I think that deck is.
Yeah, I don't think it's great. All right, so you're on the draw, right?
I am on the play.
Okay.
Though with this hand, it feels like I'm on the draw.
It's that good or that bad?
It's the double fortress hand.
Oh, of course, yes.
Oh god, I think I do need to get out ahead of you, and I don't need a ton of cards. Like, you're going to win the long game, so I think I should mulligan this.
Mine is very iffy at best here, but I don't know. This is probably a hand I should mulligan as well, but these cards are good. Just a little bit too many. Yeah, we're gonna keep it. We're living life. Talked myself into it. With you on the mulligan, I think it's reasonable, but with you snap 7 being like this hand's unbeatable, I think I would have to ship.
Okay, well,
all right. We need you to go to 5 though to actually feel evened here. That seems fair.
It's not a bad start. Okay, this is definitely going to be a keep. I don't care what the other cards are.
Okay.
Well, it's not great.
You said you didn't care, so.
We'll get rid of the redundant card.
Okay.
And we will play a Port Town and pass the turn.
Oh, your favorite. What would you like to reveal?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll take 2 and I'll Thoughtseize you.
Okay. Well, I had the island.
So I did 16. Okay. All right, yeah, that hand's pretty good. I think I want to take your Supreme Phantom. I just don't want you to play a Lord next turn. So yeah, we'll take that. Your turn.
I'm just going to play the Rattle Chain so it doesn't get censored and pass the turn.
Okay.
So Chad is kind of wondering, do y'all think that getting into the trials may be a tool for white decks to deal with these combo decks?
That's definitely a tool. That feels like the only hope. You know, this deck can't be to resolve getting into trials.
You have Hero's Downfall.
That's true. I think there's one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a card. All right, pass to you.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
Okay. Mushy for 2.
14.
Pass the turn.
No lands, huh? You didn't play Selfless Spirit. All right. You didn't play Selfless
All my
Spirit.
spirits have flash.
Oh, okay. Now I see what you're saying. All right, I'll still try. Land go.
And step Selfless Spirit.
I think I'm gonna respond. Yeah, I think we're gonna
Cast
get that
down.
out of there. Yep.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Okay.
Once again, I don't want to get inverted, and I don't want to cast a blue spell into a dispute.
Okay. 12.
Pass the turn.
All right. So I think I want to... My graveyard doesn't matter too much anymore, so I want to thin...
I have an eagle.
Just an eagle, that's all I know, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, then we're going to play a Jace.
Well, that's very punishing.
A little bit. All right, we'll play a Jace. We're going to tick up on you. Draw a card. And pass to you.
Jesus. Attack you for 2.
Okay. 10.
Go.
The beatdowns.
Show me that I'm dead.
I don't think you can... Oh, I guess all I need is an inverter.
Yeah, inverter and I'm dead.
Okay, well, I don't have it, if that makes you feel better.
I should have played this last turn.
So I could just go for this. Yeah, I think I should go for this. Well, just in case I hit inverter, yeah, I think it's worth it. 2 to you, draw. Did not hit it, but we're going to go with... Thin our deck. We're going to do some scrying. I get to scry a lot with Thassa's Oracle here.
Yeah, top 5.
Top 5. Okay, so now we're going to try to find some stuff.
It's a nice little Tygam scheming.
Yeah, well, these cards are all pretty medium. These cards are all pretty medium. I kind of want some of them to just try to stay alive. So I think we are going to bottom these. Dig Through Time being one of them, a bunch of lands and a Censor. Those are not really good. This one is reasonable, though. All right. We're going to put this one on top and pass to you.
Attack you for 4.
I will take it down to 6.
Selfless Spirit.
Selfless Spirit, huh? I need to keep your board down, so I'm going to dispute that.
I just wanted to force you to tap out for that dispute.
Yep.
Not, do anything else.
Not a bad idea. Now I think we just once again want to try to find our kill. Target you. Draw, and that's it. Oh, wait, I have to draw, huh? Okay, yeah, I have that, and then I have a cycle. And a land.
Okay, that'll do it.
Woo! Oh, sweet.
Yeah. I was pretty sure you had the dispute, and I just drew Disdainful Stroke, so I also wanted to draw the dispute out of your hand. And I think after that turn, I'm attacking you to 2, and I'm holding up.
I left this on top as my one card. So worst case, I was going to cast down to make the clock a little small, and then this was my hand before this. But yeah, drawing. So I had 2. I got to play cast down and cycle plus draw. I mean, the Resolve Jace really punished this as a hate, because it's just, this may not be a Planeswalker that sees play without, the static ability, but it's still 4 mana tick up draw card. I mean, that's still a very good ability.
It punished it in multiple ways. I mean, it meant that Inverter by itself was lethal immediately.
Yeah.
And it meant that I spent a turn not extending onto the my board, and you played a Planeswalker. So now I had no pressure to be able to attack it down. It just sat there drawing 2 cards a turn. Even though you drew a bunch of lands, you flooded pretty badly there.
Yep.
You were able
I did keep a 5-lander with a Thoughtseize and a Dispute, though, so it was a little iffy in the first place.
You were still able to find just enough gas. Like I drew the Stroke. If you don't find the Inverter there, then the Stroke holdup is pretty good once you're out. But you had castles and stuff going too. Well, you had Black Castle. That one wouldn't have been.
I had Blue Castle as well, first try. So
you were still going to see another like 7-8 cards, and if you just find any counterspell or discard spell.
Well, we saw the recipe for success from your deck, and that's aggression met with these situational cards at the right time. But then we saw the weakness of the hate cards where you didn't have a huge aggressive start, and I was able to pivot and play a game that didn't dive into your hate. You know, so we see the power of this. We also saw the power of just an aggressive strategy backed up with counter spells. But I thought you were going to have a really good matchup here, and I was pleasantly surprised with how good the 1-mana black interaction spells were. And uncounterable dig through time against that seems like a big problem.
Yeah, it was really important for me to get out to a good start and make my first 3 or 4 land drops. So even if you killed my stuff, I could play a creature, hold up a counter spell. There are a couple games I wasn't able to do that, but that's a lot of pressure on me. Like I need my draw to come together well. If I need 4 lands, a 1-drop and a 2-drop and a piece of disruption and something to follow up your removal, that's a really specific draw. It's not going to come together that well every single game. And when it didn't, I just either didn't have enough pressure to stop you from being able to just play a control game plan. Or I didn't have enough disruption to stop you from being a combo deck. So once again, we see the versatility here at play. I need so many different things to stop both angles of attack
at the right time.
And at the right time.
Yeah,
it's just this deck doesn't have a ton of card selection. Maybe this deck is another reason to play Curious Obsession here. So that you can try to just set that up and run away with the game that way. But it's hard to resolve Curious Obsession through Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, Mystical Dispute, Cast Down.
Yeah, I mean, I think at best you're looking at a 1-for-1 draw a card, then lose your Curious Obsession. Like when Mono Blue Tempo was really big when Autumn won at Mythic Championship, it didn't really matter because all the ways you interacted with those blue decks were like on your turn with like Esper Control and stuff. So no matter what, if you played 2 Curious Obsessions on a creature, attacked, you got 2 cards. Even if you lost it, it wasn't like you got just owned, But here it would be a bit of an owning.
It'd be really tough to set up and I don't know. I almost felt like I wanted more lands. So I was playing 24. Yeah, it's only 5 games, but this is a matchup where I definitely will. You just can't afford to stumble.
Yeah. Even
though you're not, a fast deck that traditionally that's what we think of that punishes the stumble.
Yeah.
I need to be able to get ahead.
Maybe Gideon of Trials is good in that sideboard this deck is going to become big enough where I don't think it's fringe anymore. This is going to be a tier 1 deck for as long as Dig Through Time remains legal. Bringing in Gideon of Trials, backing it up with Mystical Dispute seems reasonable.
Yeah. It's a tough card to cast in this deck.
It's definitely a tough card to cast.
The deck is like 7 island, 3 planes.
It's white, colorless too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've got 14 white sources. Is it 3 planes, 2 port town, 8 other duels, 1 mana complex? Yeah. So 14 white sources is kind of low for that.
Also, given that when you're boarding in the Rest in Peace in this deck,
it would be in that spot.
In similar decks, because it gives Corey or the blue-black Inverter player other outs. Is it something that you'd only board in when you can have so many reactive elements?
Yeah, because it's not a standalone good card in the matchup, right? It restricts the number of tactics they have available to them. Yeah. That's what the card does, but it doesn't shut them down.
It beats a percentage of my deck. Yeah. If my hand is double Dig Through Time and you Rest in Peace me on 2, I'm like, well, I'm dead. So it needs to be paired with other cards that are good in the situations that Rest in Peace steers the game towards. Exactly.
But the Spirits deck does have those. One, it has the aggression, so the fact that you're slowing them down and saying you have to play your Oracle and Inverter on the same turn, or you have to untap with a Jace on the battlefield. That limits and it tells me, okay, those are the situations I need to play around, and tells me the turns I need to hold up counter magic. So it makes the game easier for my side. But yeah, if I didn't have those tools, if I didn't have the Quellers and the early aggression and the Disdainful Strokes, Rest in Peace would be horrible.
Yep. Okay, well, I think that's going to bring us to the end of round 1 here. That was a great match between Blue-White Spirits and Blue-Black Inverter. Decks are definitely going to be standing out, especially Blue-Black Inverter. Familiar yourself with it. You're going to play against it if you play a Pioneer tournament. That's just how it is. So coming forward to next round, we're playing standard, and I just can't believe I'm giving away my standard deck. I just can't believe it. I completely broke it. The deck is so good, and I'm just giving away what I'm playing at SCG Richmond right after this 5-minute break. What am I thinking?